Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Americans. Today, we have our very, very special guest. How should I introduce you? Like, what do you go by now?
Well, Kosher Barbie has been born.
So we got Miss
She's a
Kosher
quarantine child.
Barbie, the quarantine Kosher Barbie. What's up, girl? Respect. To our viewers who are watching, where are you at?
Mucho gusto. Oh, honey, you're going to be jealous. I'm at my other gay husband's house right now.
Are you cheating on me?
Yes.
Are you cheating on me?
I am, honey. There was another one before you. But I cheat on him with you. He doesn't know about you yet.
I need a moment.
Actually, I need a moment too. I think I'm gonna go use his Peloton. He has one in his bedroom.
Wait, take us there. Take us to your Peloton.
Can I?
Talking like, show us. We need to see.
He's a real estate agent, a big one. Now, I don't know if I can flip you around. Can I?
No. Just take us there. Get on it.
I'm on.
Show us where you are going.
I think you have to have special shoes to clip in. I don't want to break this thing. Here we go. We're on.
Okay, give us the aerial view. I need to see what you're doing. Like, what is going on?
And we're biking. And I wish I could show you beautiful downtown to the right.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wait, so now you're getting
into it. Rich.
I love it. So you're in San Diego.
I'm a member of the presidential cabinet, and I got the POTUS on the line, and I got to get my workout in. Here we go. The tits are bouncing. The ass is too. I'm already sweating.
Yes. Wait, so wait a minute.
We're drying my hair for this. Come on.
You're cheating on me with your other gay husband on his Peloton in his fabulous apartment. Did I get it right?
Yes. His name is Scotty, and everything was in impeccable shape before I walked in, but I'm a hot mess express, so I just stripped the whole kitchen apart. I would like something to stabilize the iPhone because I'm poor. And my tripod broke yesterday.
Okay, so wait a minute. So for everybody that's watching from around the world, number one, write in. We're going to give you a shout out. Last week, we had people watching from Saudi Arabia, from Hong Kong, from the UK, New York, New Orleans, LA, Mexico. Write in. Let us know where you're at. We've got Miss Beautiful Kosher Barbie in San Diego. She's cheating on me. Look, you know what? I even put on Dior for you. I put on my Dior just because I was meeting you, and you do me like that. You just went out and I can't.
You're looking very well groomed today, sweetheart.
So, for those that don't know you, where are you from? What is your story? Where were you born? Like, give us a little tidbit. Like, where are you from? Where are you? Like, what are you about?
So the name is Jameson, typically.
Wait,
yes, drop the Lauren. I don't know that bitch anymore. We're gonna get off the bike because I'm getting sweaty. I want my punum to stay intact for the rest of this call.
Wait. You're a Jewish Jameson. Wait, I'm trying to
Jameson. An Irish Jew. Yeah, imagine that combination. But like a great Irish whiskey, I do go good with Coke.
Oh,
yeah. Don't have too much to eat, fellas. You'll go.
Looking at you, I doubt that. Looking at how beautiful you are, I highly doubt that they would go limp. But maybe if they get too much, maybe if it's just too much, then it's like, yeah.
I've kissed a lot of frogs, sweetie. That's why I moved on to you. I'm gonna convert you one of these days. You know it.
I'm waiting. That's a challenge. When this COVID stuff is lifted, I accept that challenge.
Yes, it's on.
So wait, you are an Irish Jew. Where did you grow up?
Originally, if you can't tell by the name, the Jew Fro is from Houston, Texas, where Big Time was invented. Another time.
We have an Irish Jew from Houston, Texas, at her gay lover's apartment.
So scandalous during a pandemic, you say?
Okay.
I am the most Aryan looking Jew, bagel and schmear, you'll ever meet. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure, like Lebensborn. Like I would have been approved by Hitler. I might have even had a chance 75 years ago.
Wait, you're the crossover. You're like the Jewish Beyonce. Like you're crossing over Aryan and Jew. Like
totally. She's from Houston. I know. I need a fan playing in the background right now so I can just be blowing the wind. I'm already sweating.
I'm schwitzing. I'm schwitzing. This is not cute.
Schwitzing. Yes.
I have
in Tijuana.
I look like a homeless chia pet. This is not my usual look. Like this is not supposed to be like this.
I think you look lovely, honey. You'll do.
So okay, everyone is on lockdown. Well, actually, right now everyone's getting let out. But I want to know, how are you spending your time during this pandemic? What is life like for you during this?
Well, when I could take a break from masturbating, I'm out there trying to earn $1.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Speaking of masturbating, I didn't know we were gonna get there this quick. This show's just spiraling down. Wait, are you? You're making me blush.
Stabilize my phone.
You're making me blush. Okay. So.
Oh,
is it this side or is it this side? Like what? Like, does it plug in, or are you like, you know what? I'm a manual girl. I'm just gonna use my hand. No,
honey, that thing needs to be mobile. That thing has tentacles. What is happening?
This is a Ukrainian bulava. This is a Ukrainian scepter. I got this from my hometown in Kiev. And every time I whip it out, now it looks like coronavirus on a stick.
Absolutely. That would
definitely. Like when I whip it out, people are like, is that a bong? This is the soothsayer. So I whip it out and I can tell right away. People are like, is that a dildo? I know.
think the Night King in Game of Thrones would approve. Like,
See,
GOT approved.
There's 3 answers. People are like, it's a bong, it's a dildo, it's something from the Game of Thrones. That right away tells me what kind of person you are.
All of the above.
There you go.
D. Always D, man.
So when you rub one out, are you manual? Do you have tools? How does that, like, what's your Game of Thrones?
Oh, it's such a quickie thing. It can be like one and done, but then 5 more later.
You're manual.
Yeah.
You don't need tools or gadgets, or you just.
I actually haven't owned a tangible device in a long time. Not since my mother found it in high school on my desk, just sitting out like next to my computer. That wasn't the best place to put it, I don't think. Next to the bomb.
We have Mr. Colin A. Mayhew from Durham, UK. All right.
Hello, Colin.
All right.
For a bit of tea.
Miss Kosher Barbie, do you have a question for Colin from the Durham, UK? What would you want to know from Colin from Durham, UK? What would you have from him?
Bull Durham. That's what I know. How big a boy are you, Colin? You caught us in the middle of some wanking talk right now.
We haven't even done the show 10 minutes.
What do you wank about, Colin?
Okay, are you manual or do you have tools, Colin? When you're rubbing one out, how does it work, Miss Kosher Barbie wants to know how does it go down? So question, do you have visual tools? Do you look at something? Is there some kind of like, do you log in? Do you close your eyes and remember?
No, it can't be that personalized because then like you get sad after, and like that person's not there. So let's not do that. It's like you want to be the guest or something in the magic claw. Let's not get too into it. So, obviously, I think you know how tough it's been lately during these times. I'm a Jap, so I got the Jewish part down, the American, but I'm a peasant.
For those that are watching from around the world, what Jap to them means Japanese. What does Jap mean to you?
Typically, it's a Jewish American princess, but you can hold the princess and insert peasant.
So you are the.
I'm singing for my supper.
She's the Jewish American peasant. Wait a minute. So you became a comedian to sing for your supper, is that right?
Yes, but the clothes stay on.
Barbie, is Barbie covering her mic?
Am I?
She said that she's manual. Just pan down. Show us what.
Oh no!
Show us what we're working with. Just pan. Okay, are you happen? Wait, I can't, wait a minute. We can't hear you so well, so we just got to speak into the thing.
What? Are you serious?
Just, yeah, there you go. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you perfect.
No.
So Colin
I
is
need a
hung
new
like a pit.
iPhone.
Colin is hung like a pit pony. What is your
we went
comment
there.
to that, Jameson?
Who's in the picture with Colin? Who's the gal with the sex?
Thank you, Colin. Is that your girl? Like, what's going on there? And what's a pit pony?
A pet pony or a pit? A pit bull?
These are British folks.
Is that a hybrid?
They gobble knobs. I don't know. They have a different form of doing it. So okay. How is your life
going? I see.
Yes, I am. I am.
Cazadores. That used to be my my poison of choice.
Is my jam. Okay. How is your love life during COVID?
Well, it's not completely non-existent, but definitely suffering right now. Thanks to COVID. Yeah, and my 12-step program.
Wait, what?
Both are preventing me from getting laid.
I asked you about your love life and you mentioned 12-step. Explain, please.
Well, let's just say I won't be participating in the clink clink of the tequila with you when I see you next.
I don't understand.
I've been a sober senorita for almost a year now. Yeah. I'm drier than parchment paper, honey.
Okay, we're not talking about your vagina.
I think it was. Yeah, that too. That too.
Okay, just a little
Hold on,
serious.
let me lubricate.
I want to get serious for a second.
I'm gonna go this way. It's just easier.
Why? No, take us around. What inspired you to go sober? Honestly, like what inspired you to put the drink down?
It was more than just the drink. Last year was a really rough year for me. I lost a lot of people from different phases of my life that I loved, from a family member to a close friend to another friend that I went to high school and college with. And it was just like that rule of 3 or something, just something clicked. And I think I had wanted it for a long time. I'd wanted to experience life on the other side and just check things out on that hemisphere. And I haven't looked back, man. It's still going.
So you suffered some tragedy and then you wanted to, like, what was the inciting incident? What was the moment where you were like, this is my rock bottom. I need to stop this. I need to turn. Like, what was that moment for you that made you just see clarity that you're like, you know what? I need to make a change. I need to cross over. I've had enough.
My bottom is probably, as I've learned through the program, so much vulnerability and transparency.
Let me tell you about my bottom.
I was high as a kite at my friend's funeral, to be honest, if you want to get real. And that was just unacceptable. I woke up the next day. I had a comedy show the next day. I somehow still made it in the condition that I was. And it was like my first time hosting last year. I was getting into hosting and still nailed it. But I knew that for me, wanting to get where I'm going and loving what I do so much, that could no longer be a part of my life, and that I need to live my life for those people that I lost, because they're all very important to me. And I know they're looking down on me, and I'm not going to get emotional. You're not going to see any panda eyes right now bleeding down. This is the first time I put mascara on in like a month. So
thank you for getting all dolled up for us. So you were speaking about comedy, and we've had a lot of amazing female comedians on the show. Where do you see the future of comedy going? And what does it look like to you?
I'm so hopeful. I have a lot of faith. I think that I can look back on this crazy few months that we've had as a pivotal part in history, and say that I have definitely been making the most of it. I have been participating. Initially, I was a little off put by it, but that was just because it was fear-based and it was awkward to do virtual shows, but there was a lot of hooplas. I'm sure you tuned in to a lot of comedians that are super anti about it, but I'm not going to go back up on that stage when I get the opportunity in real life and be rusty. I want to make sure that muscle is still going. I want to work it out every day if I can. We're still talking about comedy. Meanwhile, I am doing my Kegels, but
So
You
Colin,
can't multitask when you're a busy girl like me.
the pit pony is a coal miner's. There we go. That's his daughter in the picture, by the way. And a pit pony used to work alongside coal miners. And Miss Barbie, you remind us of Buffy Summers, who's about to start from the first episode here next week.
Is that another hybrid like the Vampire Slayer, but mixed with Suzanne?
I can see it. I mean, I'm going to take that as an awesome thank you. And Colin.
Thank you. Let's be friends.
No, so are you getting, you're a pretty lady. I'm not going to lie. You're a beautiful woman. I love looking at you. You're definitely easy on the eyes. Have guys been creeping on you this COVID? Like, are you getting hit? Like, are people creeping on you? Even with your mask on when you go to the store, online, are you getting creeped on?
Oh, honey, yes. And oddly enough, it's by the same team. And here's what's happening. Yeah, I'm in the grocery stores every day because that's how I'm earning a living right now, is providing a luxury service to the privileged.
Okay, time out.
Yeah.
Time out. I want everyone here to listen. What are you doing now that comedy's not paying the bills? You are doing what?
I'm grocery shopping for people. Yeah, I'm going in there and handpicking their produce and delivering it straight to their door so they can have their groceries arrive contactless, of course.
I'll pay you to fill my avocados and choose my tomatoes. Like, yes, you can pick my produce any day.
Ooh,
like I will pay you to pick my produce. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So you literally go out into the world, pick produce, and feed those in need.
Yes. Feed
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Thanks, honey. I appreciate it. They were saying on the telly that we were like superheroes, but now the human race has gone back to they're adjusted now. No one's tipping anymore. No one's sending gratitude. It's just like, nope, this is the part of life now, and this is how it is. So screw the tips. Whatever, she can deal. So be nice to your shoppers, your essential workers, y'all. We're
thank you guys. Tip. Colin's asking, would we trade Trump for Boris Johnson? Why would I trade a steaming pile of crap for a piece of crap that's full of corn and stinks a little less? It's two piles. One just has a different texture. No, thank you. We're good. We're good. But thank you, Carolyn, for the offer. But you know what? I'm good. Texture is important to me, but not that important.
Wow, so, what a random pregunta. I feel it's making me miss the NBA. I feel like we're talking about sports.
I need to talk to you for a second. I have been on social media a lot during this COVID time. And I have to tell you, I realized I'm not gay. I'm actually a little black girl inside. Because every time that I am nice to one guy, any guy, as soon as I say, hello, how are you? What did they do? Dick pic. Since when did hello, how are you mean send me your dick? Like, my DM is full of dick. Like, it's just not even dick. Like, I'm like, I can't even say hello to anyone without just dick. Like, and I can't, like, I'm like, dick. It's just not like, and then it's like, it's not just regular dick. It's like silver fox dick, like coming out of some kind of like silver shrub of gray, like.
Oh, I thought you meant like salt and pepper. I was getting excited. I'm good for good stuff.
Is this like a typical day for you? That like if you're nice to a guy, he's just like, here's my dick.
Yeah. I mean, I get the cat calls a lot, and I have to say I've been kind of missing them lately because of thanks coronavirus. But you know, I just moved downtown. I live in San Diego, as you know, but to the rest of the world, the whale's vagina. So I'll just walk out of my building and I'll get, you know, I got the vatos hanging around these parts close to the border. Exactly. I get the, hey, Rubia, I got what you want, girl. I got what you need. What's coming up in the back of my El Camino? I'll show you my little chimichanga.
I'll let you borrow my Lisa. You're nice to me.
You know, lately I'm like, ooh, well, maybe if it's kosher, I'll consider it.
I mean, do Mexicans chew their cud? I don't know.
You know, I'm nice to everybody, which is probably my problem. I need to turn up the
There you
pitch
go.
for a little bit.
I can't be nice to anybody. Like I
feel like
try to
I'm
be
that way. I'm the nice comic. The comics in San Diego are like, they get now they'll be weirded out more than ever. But every time I see a comic that I love, which is just about everyone, I'll give them a hug, and they're like, "Whoa, bro, what's your deal?" I'm like, "I'm from the South, honey. That's how we do things. Like we hug when we see people."
When I met this gorgeous, amazing, funny lady, we were at a comedy competition in San Diego at the Madhouse. I didn't get a hug.
Well, yes, you did. By the end of the night, you absolutely did.
No, man, you grabbed my dick at the end of the night, but I didn't get a hug.
Okay, I'm definitely not a dick grabber. I start with the hugs first. I'm a lady.
She is not a dick grabber. Okay, that was totally a joke.
I actually haven't seen one in a really long time. I was being really the COVID-19 and my 12-step program are like a double chastity belt, and I've lost the fucking key.
Oof. Okay, next question. How are you staying beautiful during this COVID era? What are your COVID beauty secrets?
Oh God. Well, you're seeing the COVID coif right now. It's turned into this like poodle thing.
A little purple scrunchie to match.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of the chola look with the roots showing.
Wait, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing. I'll show you. Show me the stash. And I mean it when I say that. I actually wore this t-shirt. This has special meaning to me. So Marie Kondo could never take this away from me. I wore this tee, my quarantine, one of my many, to the first time I ever performed at the Comedy Store in La Jolla. It was my first ever show on Hanukkah 2018. Hands down. I think I have a video of myself in the back alley because I just needed a moment of myself to compose, saying, "That was better than sex. That was the best thing I ever had. Oh my God." And I used to be a real estate agent. I'm sure that's rightfully. And my whole entire office was there. My entire branch from Del Mar, my transaction coordinator, the office manager, my lender, my manager, everyone came, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a pink slip.
Were you a good real estate agent?
You know, honey, I did my best. I tried. I really, really gave it my all. You know, open houses every weekend. It just never clicked for me, and I know why. I am spiritual. The Jew in me is spiritual, and my higher power up there, I think it was his way. Like, he kept making it so hard for me because he knew I needed to be somewhere else, and he forced me out. And so.
Wait. So you weren't actually moving any property. You weren't like it didn't work for you. Like what do you mean?
Oh, honey, the only property I could sell was south of my belly button and north of my knees. A quaint little cottage with a peekaboo view. Peekaboo. The realtors love to say peekaboo. You walk into the house, you're like, "Where's the fucking ocean?" I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
so many liars. I'm sorry. I just know a few, but.
What? Okay. I'm trying to breathe. Okay. So you're selling everything from your belly button to your knees, and then what happens?
All the in between. No, yeah, that was. I did. I had a few deals under my belt, but I just felt empty inside. When I would get that escrow check, I felt nothing. I felt disappointed. I felt like, I can't believe all the work that went into this just for this. Like, if I'm going to work for free, I'm going to do something I freaking love. And that's when comedy came into my life. I credit real estate to get me here, that I was so miserable in something else that I finally got over the fear of having this in my mind for so many years to take the plunge and do it. And just like, you know, once, like, why not? Why the hell not? And
Wait,
I'm so glad that I did.
What was the impetus for you to start comedy? What was the exciting incident that made you be like, you know what? I want to get up on stage and share my most embarrassing, darkest moment. Like, what on earth would try to? How did that happen?
Why the hell do we seek validation from perfect strangers? What's wrong with us? A lot. I could tell you all day. Well, that was a time of my life where I was very unhappy, and I was using a lot. I was drinking, and I was using and boozing a lot. Every weekend, you know, I'd be going to open houses, hungover as shit.
What were your poisons of preference?
Oh, honey, a Scotch, an 8-ball, and a Camel Crush. Winning trifecta.
The way you speak the truth, I just can't. Like, I can't handle. I'm not. Like, I'm like, it's amazing.
You're
It's
looking
amazing.
a little flushed over there, honey. I am going to convert you before the call is over.
So hey, you're sitting there with an 8-ball, a Camel Crush, and some whiskey. I love it. I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
no,
I love it.
I just, yes, and it always had to be McAllen. None of that shitty shit. I don't know. It just clicked in me. I lived in LA for a while. When I left Texas, I did a lot of back and forth. I went to college in Dallas. I studied broadcasting, and I got sick of Dallas. And then because I didn't want to get married when I was 23. And I moved to LA, and in hopes in the back of my mind that I would have the balls to finally go for something like this. And I think you need to say that I would have the pussy to go for this, because we know balls are weak, according to Betty White.
Wait,
So,
give us the classic. What does Betty White say?
huh? Well, oh God, I'm gonna botch it because I feel like I just said what I remember of it. You know it well.
Well, basically, balls are pussies because nothing can take a fucking banging.
Beating, like, yes.
Basically, yes, beating, slamming, jamming, and you just like a pair of balls, and they're just
To her, man, to Betty.
So, we have a lot of comedians that watch this show, and a lot of people that want to pursue this line of work. And what would you say to someone who might be at that turning point where they just can't take it anymore and they want to make a change and do something that feeds their soul, and they're thinking about getting up on stage? What would you tell them?
Well, when they get up there, even for the first time, and if they bomb their ass off, you're already winning once you get up there. I will say this isn't just like a hobby, you got to really fucking love it. It's got to be the thing you think about all day long, to be honest, because that's how it is for me. I probably the same. I know for you. It's just got to course through your veins, it changes your perspective. Obviously, it changed my life. I fought for this. I changed my whole lifestyle because I ironically take telling jokes very seriously. And, it's good for somebody if they want to maybe do a workshop. That's how I got started, a quick little 101 to grease the wheels.
You would try to take a class or a workshop.
Yep. It's even, you're even, it's there. You can do that online right now. Even in quarantine, I have a friend, if anyone would be interested, that can do it for a feasible price. It's like a once a week meeting, and she'll help you put together a little 5-minute set, which can be beneficial to you if you public speak for your business, or even if you're a real estate agent and you're doing an open house and you don't want to just talk about copper plumbing and window treatments and shit, and you want to make that a little more interesting. That's what I got sick to death about talking about. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to have an orgasm about this crown molding. I don't think I can pull it off. No.
So I do actually love the fact that, because when I got into comedy, it was 15 plus years ago, I had a coach, and I went, I saw an ad in the LA Weekly, and I went to a coach, and I was like, oh, this is something I've always wanted to do, is share my stories. And it was so helpful to have that training, have somebody explain to me kind of just the basics before I got up on stage. And for me, that was really something that I really enjoyed. And so, like, I personally have started to help fledgling comedians get up on stage and help workshop their material, help them get into character and coach them. I know you and I have worked together. How has that helped you comedically and just in general?
Oh, honey, it's been so transformative, especially during this time. I met you at the Madhouse. I mean, that was just the comedy gods above looking down and saying, we need to connect these two kindred spirits. And yes, I haven't had any assistance. It's all been me, in these last 2 years. I've just been, people are like, so do you write your own stuff? I'm like, honey, I can't afford to pay somebody to do it. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, hello, Jap, help me, I'm poor. But that's a lovely idea. So meeting you, to finally take it to the next level, to really workshop it, college level, like collegiate comedy level stuff, where you really you take us down to the nitty gritty, you bring out the raw, you always help me find the funny, even in the tragedy, which is, I think, where the most beautiful comedy is. And I'm not afraid to share it for the benefit of the audience, who I don't know from Adam.
So this is an interesting question. Colin's asking, would either of you confront somebody if you found out someone was blatantly stealing your material? Now, I've talked about this a lot, about people stealing material. And my personal take on it is, number one, if you are in your authentic comedic character, no one else can do that material. Because when you are your unique self, no one else can do or say what you do. And so if you are doing jokes that can be stolen, they're not that great in the first place. And the way that you can protect your material is have it come from such a unique place that no one else on the earth can do it but you. However, what would you do, Miss Jameson, Miss Kosher Barbie, if you saw someone doing a kosher Barbie joke on stage? What would you? Would you meet her in the green room? Would you punch the bitch in the neck? What would you do?
Not a Southern belle like me. I was raised properly. At first, I concur with everything that you just said. It is the sincerest form of flattery to have somebody either dress like you or try to, steal your style, a joke. I have been asked by a couple of comedians in some open mics when I've just been testing out material, I've gotten some like Facebook messages the next day saying, hey, is that going to maybe be a throwaway that you don't want? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so flattered. You want one of my jokes? That's amazing.
There you go.
Huh?
The way to do it is to thank and bless the other person. Walk up to them and be like, thank you so much for showing me that no one else does that joke better than I do.
That's it. Yes.
Thank
once again, I'm learning from the
so
best.
much in proving to the world that no one else can do that joke better than me. And that anyone else sounds like a fucktard doing my material.
But
thank
sweetly
you.
You say it. Bless your heart. But bless your aching heart, darling.
The only way is to come up and say thank you.
Yes. It's called the stroke and the stand.
Wait, what is it called?
The stroke and stand. You stroke the ego, and then you take your stance with a thank you so much.
I love it. Love it.
Now I'm going to go back to pursuing my spiritual path of finding my soul's alignment.
There you go. There you go. So wait, I want to know, what was the hardest part of your comedic journey so far? Where was the point where you're like, why am I doing this? I want to give up. I don't like, for anybody else that like is watching who might be feeling like they're stuck in the mud, especially now during COVID, they're not getting anywhere. They're not progressing in their career. To give people hope that, they're on the right path. Like what was your darkest moment in comedy?
Oh, it immediately came to mind, which means say that, by the way, because in comedy we don't have to filter, and that's why I'm in the right profession. Real estate, not so much. Anyway, I last year around start of 2019, I dealt with a really difficult, dark time. I hadn't yet gotten sober. And you're out there when you're at the clubs, like you have the purpose of not only going to work your material, but, anytime you meet one comic, you hope to meet 5 more because you want to know about what's going on in their world and these shows and all that. And, just like you would network any other thing. And that's work. I dealt with a lot of comedians who, in exchange for stage time, hosts and bookers, or maybe people at a more elevated level than me thought that I was going to play with their microscopic lymph dicks in exchange for it. I'm sorry, but kosher Barbie keeps it kosher. And I'm a Southern girl that
someone was trying to put their limp pork sausage in your hand in exchange for stage time.
Yeah, honey. I don't eat pork, and I'm not getting porked, and certainly not by these freaking putzes.
Wait, I'm sorry. I am so fucking jealous. No one ever asked me to do any of that.
Don't be jealous. It's
Why?
absolutely.
What's wrong with me that no one wants to what's wrong with?
I may know somebody, sweetie. I'll send him across the border.
I'll ride their Peloton.
Yeah, you'll ride that Peloton. Yeah, it was awful. I went into a depression. I thought, okay, well, I'm just a piece of ass, and I
Is that why you started dressing like a homeless woman?
What's that?
Is that why you started dressing like you were homeless?
You did call me out on that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't look like this. She looked like something that I dragged out of a dumpster. Like she looked like some like Kurt Cobain's dirty leftover cousin.
Heroin chic.
Yeah, it was sweatpants, beanie, hasn't shot. Like it was Corona before Corona came cool. Like it was insane. And I was like, who is this homeless, cute little, I mean, I could still see that you were cute and beautiful, but you were trying to cover it up and hide it as much as possible. Is that what prompted you to shield yourself? Like, was that your urban burqa?
That is my urban burqa. So yeah, during quarantine, I don't get attacked in my living room. Even at my gay husband's house, you never know. Always watch your back. Yes, it was. I did tone it down a lot. I stopped getting my hair done. I stopped wearing makeup, plaid shirts, lumberjack, high tops. I think that night I was wearing knockoff Lululemon.
Down there too?
Huh?
Did you stop down there too?
Oh, honey, yes. Now, you'd asked me about beauty tricks during the pandemic. I'm concerned. Yeah, that the grooming is just overrated at this point. It's so out of control down there. It's like an overgrown forest, like the Amazon, circa 2018. Yeah, I can almost braid it into challah.
Wait.
Can I get a challah?
Holla!
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you've got kosher yeast down there? Is that what's happening?
Yes, honey, and he ain't risen. He ain't risen. I don't think anything is gonna rise if they see what's going on down there. I'm surprised I was even able to fit into these pants. Not because of my waistline.
Oh my god! I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god!
Oh, this is so fun. I need a mocktail.
So we never do this. Do you have any questions for me?
Más preguntas.
No. I guess you for a second. Okay. What do you have any questions coming from the other side as far as because I live part-time in Mexico. I go between Mexico and San Diego every month. I gave up LA because I was an LA 5. And I just moved down to San Diego to be a 7. And
I thought you were talking about the freeway. I'm like, the 7? I haven't been on that one. Where does that go?
Well, I'll let you get on the 7. And then I moved down to Mexico just to be a 9 because like nothing is sexier in Mexico than tengo papeles. Then I got papers. Like I just put in my Grindr profile, tengo papeles. I got papers. It goes into an epileptic seizure. It's just like, I'm getting paid. I don't have to go to the gym. I just have to post my American passport. It's brilliant. So
you're a snack, honey, for sure.
With salt. Do you have any questions about comedy in Mexico?
I would like for you to tell everybody why you love comedy so much, because I really don't think I've met. There's so many varying levels. until I met you at Madhouse, and I'm so grateful you approached me, because I'm either being hit on by women nowadays or gay men. There's nothing else. There's no hope for me. So I heard after 90 days of no dick, you're a virgin again, but I'm pretty much a nun because it's been a year. I said that out loud, didn't I?
Cheers. Drink your
Trigger
Diet
warning,
Coke. You got Diet Coke in a straw. It's okay. We can toast to Diet.
Yes, this is a plastic straw. Oh my God, I'm being kicked out of the state of California. I can't believe I used to do cocaine out of these things. No, in fact, because I used to work in a restaurant up until 2 months ago. People only in San Diego, I'm sure LA, I'm sure it started in LA. God love them. That in California fashion, people bring their own straws to restaurants now. Have you seen this the last time you dined out? People bring their own little kits. Yeah, I was waiting.
I don't bring your own like Coke straw to a party, but like
exactly.
Soda straw? Like that's, come on now.
Be polite. So I did. I saw this lady at my restaurant as I was bringing her beverage because she declined my straw, which our restaurant made ours out of avocado pits. Okay. Of course. And I saw that she had her, I got to do like the action, like the straw at the table, but she had a pipe cleaner and she was like going to town on it, cleaning it out at the table. And I'm thinking, yeah, I see a metal straw come out of a purse. I'm looking for the 8 ball.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's a real pipe cleaner. Am I right?
I'm fanning myself with my comic notebook. I'm like, okay.
Are you sweating? I got you all hot and bothered. Yes.
To answer your question, so I've done comedy for over 15 years. And I started writing for professional comedians 10 years ago. And it's happened organically, but I love the female comic voice. And I realized that the comedy world is just a glorified sausage fest. And even though I'm gay,
Little Smokies though.
I've had enough sausage. Thank you. I mean, it's great and it's delicious, but it's been several hundred years. And for me specifically, I love writing for female comedians because they can say the shit that I always wanted to say, but I can't. Because I'm not a sexy blonde Jewish girl from Texas. I'm not a black girl from Chicago. I'm not a half Filipino, half Mexican bitch from LA. But I have shit to say. And I love giving unique women a platform and helping their voices get heard. And it honestly started about, 8 years ago, when I did the first ever transgender comedy festival in Hollywood at the Hollywood Improv. And I workshopped for several months an amazing troupe of transgender comedians and took them from zero, who've never done a joke on stage in their lives, to going up at the Hollywood Improv and destroying her. And
my heart is compelling.
It was really amazing because in the way that I work from my whole I don't do low-hanging fruit. Comedy is about transforming the pain and the shame. It is about being an alchemist. It is about taking something that is black and dirty and dark like lead and turning it into gold. Being a true comedian is being an alchemist and turning that into gold. It's about being a magician and teaching people how to turn their darkest, heaviest, lead is the heaviest, thing in their life into something that is the most valuable, gives me life. And the one, I don't know if I've told you, but the one moment that really hit home is one of the older women. She told me when she came out as transgender to her wife, she was told, "You're disgusting. You remind me of the serial killer Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs."
Oh God, I was always kind of into him, but all right.
For the rest of her life, every time she looked in the mirror, she saw Buffalo Bill on her shoulder. She saw herself as Buffalo Bill. And we talked about it in the workshop, and she's like, I can't talk about this on stage. It causes me to cry, and this is what we need to do. The last night we're on the stage, she gets up in front of hundreds of people on the same stage as Robin Williams, as Ellen DeGeneres, as Steve Martin, every comic in the world. And she looks at the audience and she tells them the whole story. And she looks at them and she's like, but I forgave my ex-wife, and I still see her around my lampshade. Bitch should have put the lotion in the basket. And then just drops the mic.
Oh my God.
The room just erupted in laughter. And she called me a week later and she's like, Igor, when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't see Buffalo Bill anymore.
Oh my God.
What I see is hundreds of people laughing. What I see is myself on the most famous stage in the world. And that is when I decided that I need to help people share their story. And that's, honestly, that was my moment where I was like, wow, this is what comedy can do. This is the power of comedy. This is what it's about for me. For me.
It's just sealed up in a big red bow. And that story is, I mean, I know you've done that for so many people, and you just turn your pain into purpose. You persevere, use it. Screw the haters, but also use that as ammunition to the people that tell you no, and you keep going, you can't quit. It fuels me, honestly, the people that think I can't do it.
Colin's asking
my mom's on the call. Hi, Mom.
Yes!
Mom is on.
Oh, I love it.
Jameson. Jamie Jameson is on the line. Mom,
Yes!
say
Oh
hi
my
to
God,
me.
sisters. You look like sisters. Jamie was that's amazing.
Oh, Mom.
That is amazing. Okay, Colin, yes, comedians make excellent actors, but actors do not make excellent comedians, because the whole point of being a comedian is using your own words. So actors have to use other people's words, but comedians use their own words. And that's why I think it works one way, but not necessarily the other. Now, Miss Jamie Jameson is watching. Tell us about Miss Jamie. Who is this? This is your mama?
Mama Bear. Oh my God.
I love it. So
I know. Hi,
give us one mama story. We got to close out soon, but we got time.
Okay.
Tell me your favorite mama story. So before, I want you to think about it, and I'm going to tell you one of my mama stories. So
she's probably going to log off now. She's like, I'm not going to stick around for this.
She's watching. So I remember I was flying to Orlando with my mom, and she wrapped up my little sister and stuck her on the plane as a papoose to get her on the plane for free. Because we're Jewish. And so we get on the plane, and the stewardess comes over, and she looks at my little sister, and she's like, oh my God, you're so cute. How old are you? And my little sister looks up at her, and she's like, well, on the plane, my mom tells me I'm 2, but in real life, I'm 4.
That's like the mom in Almost Famous who does that to the little boy, Cameron Crowe.
Oh, it was
like, you're 11. I helped you back a year.
We went to Orlando. We get to Disney World. My mom is like, okay, we're going to play a game. It's called Disney Roulette. Here's 1 ticket. Figure it out. There were 3 of us. 1 ticket. my brother, my sister, and myself, and we're like, okay, we gotta figure this out. We started scoping out the area. It was like Ocean's 11. We're like, okay, we gotta do this. We bum rushed the turnstile. My sister's running. I'm running. The security's running. We made it in. Like, ooh, my sister falls down. We're like, leave the bitch. Leave her. And she's like, no. She looks back at my mother, and my mother's just like, don't cry. Run. It's only illegal if they catch you. They caught her. And the security looks over at my mom and she's like, I've never seen that bitch in my life. I don't know her. I don't know her.
So cutthroat. She did not come from my vagina.
Vicious. So tell us your favorite mom story.
I feel like yours was more.
Okay, time out. Just 1 second, really quick. Jamie Jameson, I want to say thank you so much for making such a beautiful, brilliant, creative, funny woman. She gives me life. She makes the world better. And I have to say you have done an amazing job. Thank you so much. So thank you, Miss Jamie Jameson. Thank you.
Mom, meet my gay husband. I'm going to convert him, though. And we're not talking about Judaism because we're already Jewish. So
Hanukkah, I'm growing out my Pesach.
This is the person, Mom, who's coming home for Christmaka this year, where the tree will still be up during those 8 crazy nights.
So close us out before we go.
Okay.
What is your favorite mom story?
Well, a real quick tidbit to insert, just to piggyback off yours. My mama, my grandparents, my Mimi and Papa used to have a house down in the Keys, like near Bahamas, Chub Key or whatever. And my mama would take me over there. We'd go on those little puddle jumper planes. And maybe we had some money at the time. I'm thinking not, because my mom would store me in the back. We'd go over with no seatbelts on the airplane with the fruit, with the produce. We jumped the produce plane.
The vegetable.
And she's holding me like, little monkey on monkey, just like a chimp. That was my seatbelt, was my mother's arms. And I love that story always, because we made it. Obviously, I'm still standing and there she is. It was safe at the time. I will say quickly, and Mom, this is all in fun and jest. My mother saw me perform live. Oh, there we go. I was waiting for the MILF comment. Yep. Colin, you dirty bastard.
You're a creeper, Colin, but we love you. I love your little.
Yes, we do, Colin, from across the pond. So my mom saw me perform for the first time ever last October. And it was the first time I ever performed at the Irvine Improv. And she came in town, and it was around my 3rd month of sobriety. I was just celebrating like 90 days. So it was a lot happening, a lot of life, a lot of cool stuff. And Mom got to be there to witness it. So yeah, guest of honor, my first ever family member seeing me live, big deal. And she came to the show. It wasn't a huge audience like the Improv. It was a Wednesday night, wasn't super packed out. And I was in the middle of the lineup. Mom's out there having a glass of wine, brought her back to the green room. I was like, Mom, you can order anything. Like, the green room's really legit back here. The Improv's rad. It's not like some other places we won't mention. But I did my set. I got off. We're chatting as you're waiting for Mom, number one opinions, feedback on the show. She says, well, honey, you were like second best.
Keeping it real. She's
like, what?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Said, honey, that black guy, he's just funny because he's black. They're just born that way. And he's been doing it longer than you.
So I'm in a comedy competition in Hollywood, and my mom is sitting in the audience. First time she's seeing me. So I'm telling my jokes, and I was talking about the airport thing, and she's like, just yells out about it. Don't tell everybody my secrets. How do you remember that? Why? Shut up! Shut up! I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to win the competition. Can you put? Nah! The audience stopped listening to me. They were just waiting to see what my mother's comebacks were. Then another comedian gets up on stage, and she looks up. You're not funny. Why are you even on stage?
Really?
The guy freaked out and was like, fuck you. And she's like, really? That's not Fanya. You want to see funny? And then she stands up. Fuck the you.
Fuck like
The whole room starts laughing. See, I'm funnier. Get off the fucking stage.
wow. No fear.
She was just hoping. She's like, my son, fucking funnier. Get off the stage.
Wow, I cannot wait to meet.
It was
Nina.
glorious. That's how mom takes it. She just takes care of business.
She
So,
is a warrior.
Lauren, really,
Darling.
how do people find you? What is your social? How do we follow you? I want to keep in touch. What's your handle? How do I get in touch with you?
My handles, my platforms, all of the things.
Yeah, we're at,
all right. Well, come follow Little Ducklings. Over to Kosher Barbie Comedy. That would be the IG.
okay.
Kosher Barbie Comedy.
Instagram. Pay attention.
Can we put it in the chat box or something cool like that?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to try myself, but just tell us out loud. I'm going to try.
Okay. So
Verbal.
you Jews know how to spell well. Kosher Barbie, all one word, because that's how Instagram does comedy. Kosher Barbie Comedy, the KBC.
Okay. Kosher. I'm putting it in the thing. Kosher Barbie Comedy.
Yes.
And do you have any shows coming up?
Yes, in fact, I run a wonderful little production that is, let's see, almost a year old. Started it last September at the American Legion, which is a VFW. It's a Veterans Members Club.
What's it? What's a VFW?
A VFW is, they're all over the country. They're different posts. This one specifically is in Encinitas, California, where I used to live in North County.
Okay.
Right on the 101.
Okay.
416.
Honestly, I know what it is, but everyone else watching does not know what a VFW is. So break it down for me, because it sounds like a disease.
It does, right? Any acronym does these days. No more STDs, please. Thank you. And I mean, save the dates. I'm not going to any more weddings.
So give me the date first. What's the date?
Okay, we haven't set a date yet. I'm confirming the lineup, but I will release all this information at Kosher Barbie Comedy. You'll be able to find it there.
Okay.
So, oh no, my gay husband's Roomba is turning on.
Oh, bitch. What the pubic hair
hold
needs to be picked up, right?
Bear with me because I know we're closing out soon.
So
VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars.
So at VFW, I'm texting it into the chat, at VFW.
Just do Kosher Barbie Comedy, babe, and I'll post
Okay.
all the who, what,
Everybody, if you want to see more of this amazing, hilarious woman, you're going to go to at Kosher Barbie Comedy, at Kosher Barbie Comedy. If you want to learn more about getting up and doing stand-up, anything comedy, you can follow me at Iggy Lovesky. That's IGGYLOVESKY. I'm always bringing you the freshest women comics in the world. I am so honored to have you on our show today. Mad respect.
honey.
I love you so much. We're gonna
God love you, my Shayna Punim. I can't wait to see you at the end of
everybody,
this month.
please follow at Kosher Barbie Comedy. Follow me at Iggy Lovesky. Guys, stay healthy and happy. We will see each other next week, Thursday.
Love and laughs. Always be laughing.
Besos. Ciao.
Ciao, baby.